right, we are gathered once again to discuss about the sporting stories right here on the dial that fills the air with laughter. 32 FM 94.9. For 34 days, the transfer window were open, and of course, later last night, it was a short. So many teams, they made that move for players who would help their club side that achieve their goal for the 2024-2025 season. But for some certain teams who definitely were in need, but they didn't go to the market to get a recruitment that would also help them. So on the show this afternoon, we take a look at some of the biggest movers and also teams that acquired the best players that's in the winter transfer window. And that will also make us look at the winners and the losers from the transfer market. Yesterday, some of those players also made their debut for their club sides, like Jean Duran, the Colombian international, making his debut for Al Nassr yesterday in their Asian Champions League encounter yesterday. And that statement Cristiano Ronaldo made, saying that he is the best after all, but respect fans who actually goes for Lionel Messi, Pelé, Maradona, Ronaldinho, and all that. But saying his statistics backs up his own claim of being the best player in the world. So are you a Cristiano Ronaldo fan? Are you a Lionel Messi fan? Let us know what side you stand on the show this afternoon. And also we take a look at Nigerian sporting stories also, which definitely includes the Nigeria Premier Football League. Some sides won their games yesterday, and some drew over the course of the weekend. But then, for some teams, there has been an ultimatum for their managers to deliver before they are shown the exit. That's within their club sides. And so once again, I welcome you on board to today's edition of the program, Scoreboard Reloaded, right on 32 FM. And you are listening to the voice of 𝐒𝐈𝐒 SAMIES, you're good at the program this afternoon. Well, definitely, I have Peter with me, who was here this morning. And of course, he said, we will take a look at the transfer world later in the afternoon. And of course, we are here to fulfill that promise. Good afternoon, Peter.
Thank you for having me. Good afternoon, SAMIES.
We start straight from the biggest winners from the January transfer window. And of course, you take a look at Manchester City. Well, they were the biggest spenders once again in the January winter transfer window. And yesterday I was here. I remember I said Pep Guardiola is a checkbook manager. And so now you look at the recruitment he has also made from Kashanov, Mamouche, Gonzalez. Now he has spent way much more money than all the sides that went into the market to acquire players over the course of the transfer window. So would you say Manchester City are the biggest winners from the transfer market when you look at the price tag and also the players that they recruited? Or you say Aston Villa, word for Marcus Rashford, Marco Asensio, these players. Or you talk about AC Milan, who also have Joao Felix in their ranks now. But remember that Alvaro Morata left this side. Also, you were here this morning, and also for fans who watched the game between Chelsea Football Club and West Ham, and maybe they saw Willian in attendance. He is set to have his medical to enjoy his second stint as a F1 player there at the Craven Cottage. So, where would you rank this transfer market when it comes to the aspect of players moving from one team to the other?
Two different things for me. Losers, winners. If it's all about biggest spenders, City spend about they spend 175.8, if I'm right, million pounds. So you break it down in dollars now, you say something close to $200 million just to fortify the team. And the question would be, can all of this spending for Pep make him turn the things around and win the championship in England? Maybe far from it. Is he looking at maybe stumbled on the UEFA Champions League? Kind of, because they're still there. They play against Real next week Tuesday in the UEFA Champions League playoff. And then you say, in the FA Cup, do they have a shout? Or on the other hand, is Pep building for the summer? We were here talking about Nico Gonzalez for £50 million. That's about 60 million euros. And that deal was done. So will it be the solution to Rodri? Calvin Phillips was one solution. Ike Godohan came back. Not the solution because he was there with Rodri before he left for Barcelona. And of course, Mateo Kovacic also was there. Martinez also was there. So Nico Gonzalez is the one that will. So in terms of the spenders, City did not go for loan signings. They went for major and permanent signing. Unlike Aston Villa, who got Axel Disasi on loan from Chelsea. The only player they signed permanently, I think, is Doyan Mael from Borussia Dortmund. Who else again? Marcus Rashford joined them on loan. So I don't want to count those ones as being winners or losers. We know what Unai wants. He wants a big squad. At the moment, Tyrone Mings is out injured. Paul Lopez is also out injured. Disasi came in, even though Chelsea were not too comfortable with him going to Villa Park because they saw Aston Villa as a strong opposition for them not hitting top 4 and qualify for the UEFA Champions League. But that was done with about £5 million on the table to make that happen. So I don't know. You talk about AC Milan. Kyle Walker moved. Joao Felix moved. You said Alvaro Morata left. Noah Okafor also left for Naples to join Napoli Football Club. But I think this January window is not bad. I think I saw moves like never before. Yes, loan.
Heavy moves.
Yeah, heavy.
Big names.
Yeah, big names were moving. Were together when you caught my attention to Morata moving from Milan to Turkey. And I never saw that coming.
Yesterday also.
I never, where they won by goal to nil. I never saw that coming. Who would have thought that Arsenal would put £60 million on the table for Oli Watkins? Didn't happen. And I was reading somewhere today that actually Villa approached Arsenal to make the move, but for 29 year plus, 29 million, £60 million was where Arsenal stopped. And I know the fans of Arsenal were waiting. We were watching some of the British media and to see who is going out, who's coming in, and they were waiting to see what Arsenal will do. And I remember tweeting, say, big managers won't be doing business now because what's the point going for panic? That's just the word. Bayern Munich got one of their players out. How many did they brought in? The top of the table in the league. Real Madrid at top of the table in Spain. No major business. They wanted to do Trent Alexander-Arnold. It didn't work. They move on. So maybe the club who are just pushing for a good finish are the ones who went to do business. You can imagine if Pep and City were doing well, maybe there would be no need for them to sign 4 players in this window. But they did. So I think the club side who went into the market to do signings were those who really want to finish well in the league. So we'll wait to see. For me, I don't see anybody being winners. Maybe spenders now has to be Pep Guardiola City. For me, nobody really won in this window. It was just a window for those who are really desperate to get players on board. They got their players on board. But like I said the other time, I was amazed to see the number of players, SAMIES, that's moved from one club to the other club. Talking about Nigerian players, Kelechi Iheanacho left. Emmanuel Dennis also left for Blackburn Rovers. Akko Adams, yes, left French Ligue 1 Montpellier to join Sevilla Football Club. So for
Samuel
us, on the verge of going to Fulham, but
the man who definitely lots of talks were surrounding his name last week.
Yeah,
Victor Boniface.
Yeah, he also was almost on the move. I also heard about Paulo Nuachu maybe going back to Trabzonspor in Turkey. Yes. I think that didn't happen. He's going to stay with the Saints and see.
But the Turkish transfer market is still open.
It's still open, so maybe.
But what would you implore Paul Onuachu to do at this point? His side are much more guaranteed of relegating to the second tier of English football.
No doubt.
But he goes to the Turkish league. Maybe 1 or 2 things that can happen. And maybe he'll put himself as a player who is not getting relegated with Southampton. Remember, he was there 2 seasons ago when they got relegated.
And he went on loan to Trabzonspor.
He went on loan to Trabzonspor.
Yeah.
He scored the goals. He picked up from where he left in the Belgian. That's in the Belgian Jupiler League.
Yeah.
But then, what can he do? Once again. But before we really talk about some Nigerians who were active in the transfer market, now I want to go back to Arsenal's case. Oli Watkins, a 28-year-old, will be 29, £60 million. But then you look at Arsenal, at the point that they are now, they want to win the title. They are challenging for the title, not they want to win now. They are challenging for the title. And then you go back to the year 2015 when Sir Alex Ferguson laid his hands on Robin Van Persie. How old was Van Persie that season? He was a one-season wonder for Manchester United.
How much did Arsenal play, if I also ask? Arsenal paid about £25 million to get him. and for one season, like you said, hit about over
22 goals.
Yeah,
and the same as he scored the previous season for Arsenal.
Yeah, and that was it. So there are different approaches by managers. Okay, so you expect Arsenal to go back with another improved bid of about 70-75 million pounds. Don't forget, Villa are also trying to cash in on Oli Watkins. You saw the number of games he got pulled out in second half and allowed the Colombian who made that move to the Saudi Pro League to join Al Nassr. So for me, I don't want to use that as a yardstick. Managers have their approaches. And there was a word I used all the time, desperation. Was Mikel Arteta really desperately need Oli Watkins? I think the word is no.
You think the word is no?
I just think, and I also know it's no. Because if it was not no, they would have gone back with an improved bid.
But words on the street also has it that Morata rejected Arsenal for Galatasaray's move. I remember, maybe if that deal had materialized, I would have I called it in John Fabrizio because you actually were calling for Morata to join Arsenal.
Yeah, I was jokingly saying that there's a certain Morata somewhere. Get this guy on for 6 month loan. I know I tested the Premier League before. Maybe it didn't work out well with him. I don't think it's about him not liking the English weather and all that. And I played before for one of the clubs side in England, so there was no point. I didn't even see that news. It never popped up for me to hear the news that Morata and Arsenal have never courted him in public. I know that for two, and I mentioned this too in the morning, Alexander Isak and Benjamin Sesko, the Slovenian. So I never saw anywhere where they were talking about Morata. I only talk about Morata, just putting my own conspiracy theory together to see if that will work for them. So I think those are the two major things. And I think for Arsenal Football Club, like I said in the morning, they're just 3-4 signings away from becoming champion. Even though some of my friends will say they're still standing a chance to win the league, they're still closing on Liverpool Football Club. I've got a game next week against Everton, the outstanding game. It's going to be tough for them. Zubimendi will join. Jorginho is look like he's be on his way out to Flamengo in the Brazilian league, and then Zubimendi will come in the summer, and then hope they can extend the deal for Thomas Partey, the man who has been underrated at the Emirates Stadium. So just a 3-4 signings away from this. If I say something quickly here, SAMIES, is that maybe for me, get one of Sesko or Isak, and then maybe see if Nico Williams can work. If that they have those two with Zubimendi, I think they should be going for the league without any excuse 25-24 football season. Well,
let's see how that will pan out for Arsenal Football Club in the coming season, and now surely at the end of the current season. But we talk about football. Cole Palmer yesterday was influential for Chelsea Football Club at the Stamford Bridge. Their second victory in 8 games, coming from a goal down to defeat West Ham Football Club, and that was Graham Potter's first league defeat. That's with West Ham Football Club. That's in the top flight of English football. But we move away from that also, and still talking about some football stories. But this is surrounding one man. His name is Cristiano Ronaldo. You call him a winner, or you call him a conqueror. Well, what else how else would you describe Cristiano Ronaldo? You can share that thought with us. But I want to get out of Peter first. Cristiano Ronaldo, this young man from Lisbon, sporting down to the pinnacle of football. But only one trophy has eluded him, let's say 2 trophies everywhere he has played. And that happens to be the World Cup. And also, he won the European Championship. So I will keep it as the FIFA Men's World Cup.
Okay, so I think you have a call. All right, so hello.
Yeah, hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah, this is 𝐒𝐿 calling from Soka.
We can hear you.
Okay, now, well, Ronaldo does not need to tell us that he's the best. There are facts that prove that he's not the best. No doubt he's a good player. He's very, very good. He's up there. But Lionel Messi is the best. Lionel Messi has won everything that Ronaldo has won, and even won more. So let him go and win the World Cup first, then he can come and be arguing that he's the best or not. So no doubt that he's a good player. I have no doubt about that. But he's definitely not the best.
Well,
But it's not the best.
thank you so much, Awoke Victor. So, Awoke Victor is saying there are statistics which shows that Cristiano Ronaldo is not the best, but he's a top player. He is up there with the best. So, over to you, Peter.
Okay, so where do I stand in all of this? He is one of the best. But if you have such a question, if you ask him that question over again this morning or this afternoon, he will say the same. Because, okay.
Hello.
Hello, good morning. Good afternoon.
Exactly, as well. It's fine.
Yeah. This is Kazim from Omis.
Kazim from Omi, good afternoon.
Ronaldo is not, it's not the best, but one of the best.
Oh.
He hasn't won the World Cup. So you can't compare person that has won one cup with the person that has not won one cup. So it's not the best. It's one of the best.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, I think the
know,
World Cup has now become a yardstick for people.
When we use the word best, because I've had this conversation around a few folks who will always say to me, what are the boxes here for us to tick? Ronaldo has scored the most goals.
He's on 122.
The most goals, and he's not stopping yet. Last night he scored 2 in the Asian Champions League for his club side, where you spoke about Johan Duran. He has never won the World Cup. I agreed. He has never won the Saudi Pro League. Don't forget, you said 2 things he hasn't won. He has never won the Saudi Pro League since he joined the Saudi side. Messi has been to the MLS. He has won the World Cup. He has won the Copa. He has won the UEFA Champions League. So when you talk about being the best, that word is very subjective. Some people say one of the best. So when you say because Messi won the World Cup, that makes him the best. So Philippe Lam also, what happened? Because he won the World Cup, right?
And this is a man who never received the red card as a defender.
Okay, so I'm putting this on the table. I'm mentioning players that you don't even think of. What's this guy's name? Played for Chelsea, he's a German, he's retired now, won the World Cup. Okay, so because I can't remember his name, Paul Mertesacker. You remember him, the Arsenal captain?
No, you've actually put a lot of
names. No.
Look at Tony Cruz. I want to pick Tony
Cruz. No.
Cruz.
Tony Cruz is a household name that you can really relate with. I'm mentioning players that maybe a few folks forgot were in that German side that won the World Cup in 2014. So,
Kramer.
Paul Mertesacker won the World Cup. Jordan Draxler won the World Cup. So because they won the World Cup, does it make them one of the best? They were not one of the best. So I understand when people say things about because Messi won the World Cup makes him the best. I agree that Messi is one of the best. Someone will say maybe he is the best. Again, it's an argument that is open. But Ronaldo, with that interview granted yesterday, you are asking a man who you saw what he has done in football. We know how this man and Messi denied the likes of Neymar, Eden Hazard, Xavi, Iniesta, who else again? Except for Luka Modric, who actually break that in
2018.
In 2018, when these two guys were pulling everyone away, winning the Ballon d'Or, winning the FIFA Best, and all that. So for me, I think that is an argument that will be there. I don't want to be part of it. I've stopped being part of it for years, but I just come and talk about Messi, brilliant, fantastic player, a player every manager will want. Let me say, most manager will want in their side because Messi will decide the course of any game. Same also with Cristiano Ronaldo. I remember when Ronaldo won the Euros in 2016, people were saying, Messi, so it's a turn to go win something big. So what he did, he went ahead and won 2 Copa. He went ahead and won the World Cup. The second one, the first one was in 2014 where they lost to Germany in the final, and we saw what Mbappe almost did to him because it was 2 guys that were going head-to-head in that final until penalty decided the course of the game. So for me, I think in terms of the number, maybe Ronaldo was speaking in terms of numbers. He said him is the best. In that interview, he said, I score with my head, I score with my left, I score with my right, I'm the most complete. So to him, he thinks he's the best. He's entitled to that. Messi can also come out tomorrow morning and say, you know what, I'm also the best because I can score from anywhere. I think you have a call now, SAMIES.
Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon. Are you here to join us in our conversation?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, boy.
I'm Esther Folabi.
Okay. Hello?
Hello.
Okay, you want to say something?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, boy.
Leo Messi has won more cups than Ronaldo.
Fantastic. How old are you?
8.
8. Good. What club do you support, boy?
Leo Messi.
What club do you support? I know you like Messi, but what club do you support?
Are you a Messi fan, boy?
Argentina. Is daddy there with you or mommy?
What do you say?
Who is there with you? Is it daddy or mommy?
Mommy.
Mommy. Okay. All right. I thought that was daddy, but if it's mommy, fine. So you like Messi, you like Argentina. You didn't tell me your club. You don't say you like Argentina, you like Messi. Why don't you like Nigeria and like the Super Eagles? Say Argentina. Come on, boy. All right. So thank you so much for calling. Thank you.
I think so. We don't allow this conversation to actually take much of a time. Yes, there has been that conversation, that argument, that back and forth. Ronaldo is greater than Messi. Messi is greater than Cristiano Ronaldo. But then we look at some statistics which definitely has a Ronaldo in a favor of who probably the best player is in the world. And
Messi have won most Ballon d'Or. Let me also help Messi's arguments here.
Yeah, Messi has won more Ballon d'Or. He has won the World Cup and all of that. He has won more trophies. That's in the finals of a competition.
Ronaldo have won more Champions League than Messi. So I'm just trying to put the numbers on the table just to say that argument
but
is
then
just...
you look at how we have players who have these trophies than maybe all of these guys. You look at Dani Alves at the point, you say this man was the most decorated at a point in time.
Yeah.
The most decorated footballer. And then you talk about...
But he never won the World Cup.
You talk about Karim Benzema, all those guys. Then I look at Ronaldo.
Benzema never won the World Cup. He wasn't the part of the France team that won the World Cup.
You look at that Madrid side that won the 14th Champions League last season.
Yeah.
You see the likes of Toni Kroos. How many Champions League medals does Toni Kroos have?
I've lost count.
I think he has up to 6 or 7.
I know. He won one with Bayern, and then
won 6.
He won one with Bayern in 2012 where they won
13.
against Dortmund, and then he came to Real in 2014. He wasn't the part of the team that won 2014-15, but he won 16, 17, 18. He won 5 with Real. He won 5. That's 6 in total.
So you look at it.
Not even Barca has 6 as a club.
How many clubs have 6? Just AC Milan and probably.
All right.
But then it's just that conversation in which a lot of people will delve into, and you spend the whole day without having.
Maybe it's that you enjoy with a bottle of cold water around you and some pepper soup.
And you just talk about statistics.
That's it.
But we move away from that also, and I quickly discuss about Nigerian football. We are Kwara United versus Shooting Stars. The fixtures have gotten a new date. That's the outstanding game for the Oluyole Warriors at this point. That game was set to go down. That's which was initially scheduled for Saturday. That's January 25th. But it will now be played on Wednesday. That's February 12th. That same day, Liverpool will be playing against Everton.
And there's Champions League that day too. It's just next week Wednesday, to be precise.
So we look at all of these things coming together, and then still in Nigerian football, Stanley Oguma got a 1-0 victory yesterday over Lobby Stars, and he has called on the support of his players and also the team management. They should come together and also pick up a stronger result in their coming fixtures, since we are in the second stanza of the season. But for Plateau United, their manager, he's under pressure now. 3 games, that's the ultimatum. He has been.
He's a white man.
He has been given, and he has to deliver. He has to deliver Plateau United in the Nigeria Premier Football.
Okay, Plateau United, not Lobby Stars now. Plateau United. Callum Plateau also. I've got the head coach. I've also got Abdallah. I've also got some. What do you call it now? What's that word they use? Ultimatum. That's the word, right? Okay. This is the part of the world where I hear such. Even though I also the Europeans have that kind of, but theirs probably don't give it 3 or 2 much. But this is why it's and I remember the year. Can I remember now? Is it 10 years ago that Stanley Guma had this kind of ultimatum with Rivers United? And guess what? He went ahead and went beyond that 3 games, 3 ultimatum, and we saw what he did with Rivers United that year. So this might just be a push that Abdallah and the likes
of
we
course,
need.
to put you on your feet.
Yes.
To actually get to
I think the phone line is also is.
Hello.
Okay, so for Shooting Stars, it's outstanding games the fans have been waiting for. They play against Kwara United next week Wednesday. Kwara should be careful. That's all I have to say.
Let's move away from football also, as we are definitely planning to wrap up the show. We are Petra Kvitova in tennis, as she's set to resume playing after birth of her son. That's the two-time Wimbledon champion. And also in the world of basketball, well, Devin Booker, he broke out the Phoenix Suns' scoring record in their defeat to the Portland Trail Blazers just in the early hours of today. But this will be the size of the package on today's edition of the program. We have games set to go down across the different centers. Today in Spain, it is the Copa del Rey game, Atletico de Madrid against Getafe, the DFB Pokal Cup, Stuttgart against Augsburg. In the Copa Italia, Atlanta against Bologna, and then in the Coupe de France, Lille against Dunkerque, Troyes against Brest, and Le Mans against Paris Saint-Germain. Well, those are the lineup of games set to go down in some European top flights. I am SAMIES, your sports captain, and I've done this alongside Peter. Do enjoy the rest of the day till we meet again tomorrow. Bye for now.
Heaven made a radio, gave it a soul, and called it.
My heart's a stereo, it beats for you, so listen close.
32 FM 94.9.